Chapter 1 of The Lost Continent. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Faro. The Lost Continent by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Chapter 1. Since earliest childhood, I have been strangely fascinated by the mystery surrounding the history of the last days of 20th century Europe. My interest is keenest, perhaps not so much in relation to known facts as to speculation upon the unknowable of the 2 centuries that have rolled by since human intercourse between the Western and Eastern Hemispheres ceased, the mystery of Europe's state following the termination of the Great War, provided of course that the war had been terminated. From out of the meagreness of our censored histories we learned that for 15 years after the cessation of diplomatic relations between the United States of North America and the belligerent nations of the Old World, news of more or less doubtful authenticity filtered, from time to time, into the Western Hemisphere from the Eastern. Then came the fruition of that historic propaganda which is best described by its own slogan, "The East for the East, the West for the West," and all further intercourse was stopped by statute. Even prior to this, transoceanic commerce had practically ceased, owing to the perils and hazards of the mine-strewn waters of both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Just when submarine activities ended, we do not know, but the last vessel of this type sighted by the Pan American merchantman was the huge Q-138, which discharged 29 torpedoes at a Brazilian tank steamer off the Bermudas in the fall of 1972. A heavy sea and the excellent seamanship of the master of the Brazilian permitted the Pan American to escape and report this last of a long series of outrages upon our commerce. God alone knows how many hundreds of our ancient ships fell prey to the roving steel sharks of blood-frenzied Europe. Countless were the vessels and men that passed over our eastern and western horizons, never to return. But whether they met their fates before the belching tubes of submarines, or among the aimlessly drifting minefields, no man lived to tell.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?